What up? It's your boy T-Man Reaction. So this is a maker from Wrestling Wednesday. I wanted to do this video right here from Super Kids Studio. I meant to originally before I did the video I did last week with the WWE Renaissance era as well too. Well, I found I should have did because it was part of his 4-part series. One that I'm not going to really do too much is the research and the pay-per-view because we got a whiff video on some of these videos anyway. So this one he talked about the WWE's new wave as well too, as we witnessing a lot of like the top new stars of WWE were baby faces or heels as well too, and future stars who include new free agent signings such as Jay Cargill and many others. So let's check out the WWE new wave. Let's get it.
The WWE's development of stars in the entirety of the 2010s was a complete disaster. The company at times would force certain superstars on the fans, while the men and women fans wanted to see in that top tier never reached their full potential. Just look at all the stars who felt like surefire things in NXT, only to make it to the main roster and be completely lost, be stripped of their tangible traits, given hard resets, and in many cases, slowly disappear from the company.
Oh man, they did him real dirty, man, in the main roster.
WWE also had their own aspirations, especially in the 2010s when the carryovers from the Ruthless Aggression era were slowly winding down their careers. Pushes given to the Sin Caras, Rybacks, Cavals.
Hold on. I'm back. Anyway, had to take care of the little man wife out. So anyway, yep. Let's go back to the beginning when you said that right there.
Their own aspirations, especially in the 2010s when the carryovers from the Ruthless Aggression era were slowly winding down their careers. Pushes given to the Sin Caras, Rybacks, Cavals, Jack Swaggers of the world in hopes to rebuild the roster. But the problem with those guys were many of them couldn't connect with the fans. It was essentially the WWE telling you who to cheer and who to boo. They put stock into people who ended up being busts and couldn't reach that big time potential. Ever since the Ruthless Aggression era came to an end, WWE just could not assemble a multifaceted, skilled, and concrete roster to save their life. Even when they did rebuild their top end stars with the likes of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, the rest of the acts were just kinda there. So you had a very top heavy roster that thinned out very quick. But now that's changing. There's finally a rebuild happening within the WWE. Stock is being put into acts that have actually proven that they can hang. The fans want to see these people. The WWE has a new core on the rise, and that core is being built in an organic way. And one of the guys at the forefront of it is LA Knight, arguably the hottest act in WWE right now, bar none. What makes him so special is his ability to make fans feel. He can make people laugh. He has the distinct ability to naturally come up with punchy zingers and smooth one-liners. It's a gift of gab that very few possess. LA Knight right now is getting some of the loudest, arena-shaking, and genuine responses in the company's history. What makes fans gravitate towards him is he's just a normal dude, having fun, roasting his opponents. His catchphrases are also extremely simple and very catchy. From "Let me talk to ya," "Yeah," and everything in between. He's at a universal popularity that hasn't been seen since Daniel Bryan and his Yes movement nearly a decade ago. And that was another guy who was able to take a simple word and make it stick with the audience. Connecting with the audience is currency in professional wrestling. When you make things interactive, when you make people excited to chant along with you, it brings them into the performance even more. And in this video, you'll see that a lot. Whether it's yelling "yeah," booing Dominic at the top of your lungs, waving the hands up and down with Jay, or singing Cody's theme, the interactivity has increased a ton in the WWE. Getting back to LA Knight, let's not forget the terrible gimmick this man was saddled with upon arrival. Having the ability to move out of that and organically find yourself as a...
Thank you, Triple H, for that, man. I don't know what the hell Vince was thinking with that bullshit. I mean, I guess the LA wanted to keep his job at WWE because I don't know why he wanted to go along with it, but thank you, Triple H, for bringing us out of that bullshit. I mean, you know, you tried to turn the heel, but you know that the heel run wasn't going to help, so he made him a babyface, so thank you, Triple H.
Consistent merch mover is actually crazy when you think about it. You find yourself at a top tier position when this is what you were doing over a year ago. This is a guy whose t-shirts are outselling the likes of Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Brock Lesnar, top stars in the company, and I feel like he hasn't even hit his stride yet. It's clear that the company does see what they have with him. The WWE has been putting him in prominent spots on their branding, letting him get moments with their biggest stars, and it feels like the best is yet to come. Let's get a yeah train going in the comments.
Yeah.
500 of them. Maybe I just walked into the most annoying 2 days of my life. I don't know. So that is a man who's very much so on the babyface side of things in this new emerging core. But the man who is a monster, the man who's been built like an unconquerable force, is Gunther. At this point, there's a completely valid argument that Gunther is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Think of the slums, the pits, the absolute abomination this championship was. Cast your mind back to when it wasn't even getting defended on consecutive pay-per-views, nonetheless being used as a device to create a new star. The WWE in their push of Gunther has done two things very well. The first is rejuvenate the Intercontinental Championship, and the second is create a monster final boss in Gunther. Someone who faces competition head-on and is believable in that role. When the move was made from NXT to the main roster, there were some red flags immediately. The name change had people really worried. In hindsight, it was an overreaction from a lot of us, and let's be honest here, we kind of got to give Vince McMahon some credit because this physique Gunther has now doesn't happen if Vince doesn't tell him to work on it. Again, coming back to my point at the top of the video, a few years ago, this would have been some goofy guy, meathead, who was over pushed and just couldn't perform in this spot.
It's somebody funny. I watched this right. Watching the Polano's top take video. He talked about this that one of the takes that Gunther would do good in 2010s, but. On paper, it sounds good, but in reality, we gotta think about how Vince treated guys like Gunther, like you think of the likes of Vladimir Kozlov and Mike Knox, many others. And Bruce Clay and all them. Yeah, I don't think so.
They've made him. They've given him legitimacy, and I will say everyone always talks about rookie years, your first calendar to calendar year in the WWE. Gunther's isn't getting the due just yet. He debuted in April of 2022 and put on some classics while also being propelled into the top tier of the WWE. His matches in his Intercontinental Championship reign have been spectacular. Against Sheamus at Clash at the Castle, against both Drew and Sheamus at WrestleMania, versus Chad Gable, versus Ciampa, you name it. If you were a wrestling promoter and you were handed Gunther, what WWE has done is probably what most of us would do with him. He's a monster. He's big. He's tall. He beats the hell out of people. Just let him do that. Speaking of the beats, Dom Mysterio caught those from his dad at WrestleMania 39.
I'm glad he did.
Every single YouTuber under the sun has made a video called How Dominic Became Big, Why Everyone Hates Dominic. You guys know the videos. I'm going to keep it simple here. There was a point where this guy looked like he was beyond repair. He couldn't go in the ring. He couldn't cut a promo to save his life. In 2020, he debuted against Rollins, and of course, he was just the plucky underdog. Oh, I'm Rey Mysterio's kid, who might be Eddie's kid, but now he's Rhea's kid. Anyways, he just didn't have the layers to him. He had no tangible trait that made you go, oh, this guy's really interesting. Well, one simple heel turn and a stable with the Judgment Day made everything turn around for him. They made Dominic be scummy. They made him do nasty things to his dad. They made him into a cheap heat magnet at times, let's be honest. And now he's slowly finding his way. What a few years ago looked like an extremely forced project, now legitimately seems like can be a face of the future, and a face of the future for a long time. He's receiving some of the loudest boos.
I mean,
like, the guy doesn't even say
if he ever turned babyface, I'll welcome him on, but boo that man.
He just puts a mic to his face and he gets drowned out.
And there's folks who's on his nutsacks worse than the Tribal Queef, man, for real.
By booze. At 26, it seems like there's a long road to go, and he'll be with the company for a while. It finally looks like he can make some noise. When thinking of a guy who can make noise, Jay Uso.
Yeah, so main event Jay.
It's so hard to find your way, and sometimes what ends up happening is those guys who look like they could find their way after a tag team's breakup just can't. Jay's involvement and performances in the Bloodline story as a whole were world class. They made him a fan favorite. After the WWE did the turn with him and his brother at SummerSlam, the move to Raw has been exactly what he needs. A little bit more time to simmer. Look at this. look at this. He's got an entire arena
Right.
rocking. There's something really fun about the way Jey Uso is as a character, because you can kind of tell that this is how he is as a human. He's natural on the mic.
Look how he
makes
walk
things
up the
fun,
ring
and
like
because
that. I
he's
love
having
it.
a good time.
He
Everyone
is.
else does too. Now it feels like they can really, really make him a key singles player, especially on Mondays where he is main eventing.
I feel like a lot of people saying, and I kind of want this too. He should be the one in throwing Gunther, man. I would like that. That'd be awesome if he does, man. For real.
Shows he has the exposure. He is a focal point. Beating Roman at SummerSlam, I didn't really think that he could handle the weight of having to carry the WWE after beating Roman. To me, I didn't think that that was something Jey was ready for. But now, him possibly winning the World Heavyweight Championship, that's something I can completely see.
I
Much
see that
like
too.
Gunther, he feels like he's just a step or storyline away from a World Championship. Now let's talk about his brother. Not that one, but the other one, Solo. Ever since this man came in, he's been presented as
He needs help right now. I will say, all that aside, he definitely has a future in him as well too. He could be a babyface after the WrestleMania as well too. You know what I mean, break away from Roman as well too. I'm waiting for it though. He did a great job as babyface on NXT, so yeah, he could be a good dominant babyface.
a force. Crazy thing is, this man is 30 years old, and he's slowly developing at a steady pace. In a year on the main roster, he's lost just 3 times clean. LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso. The one thing with Solo since he's been with the Bloodline is people haven't been able to see what made him successful in NXT.
Yeah, right.
Working with Roman's given him that exposure. He has all the tools to slowly work his way up and become someone to be right there with these guys. There's been rumors that WWE want to do something with Solo and John Cena. And if you do that, that's huge. He's always in the ring with the biggest WWE stars.
Must be before that match.
He's solid in the ring. And in-ring acumen is the forte of Chad Gable, who feels like he's just going to be the wrestling machine of this crop.
He will.
Let me take you back to the slums that were 2019, where the WWE decided to strap him with the name
Shorty Gable. Oh my
Essentially,
God. Damn. He went through a lot, man. Shorty, he another one who went through a lot to where he is now as well too. Damn, I almost forgot about Shorty G, man. Oh my God, with the boxer style shorts and everything, man. With the little Mac shorts and the little Mac from Punch Out shorts and outfits, yo.
Year, and he was made to look like a complete joke. A former Olympian, these guys didn't care. WWE fans knew of the underlying skill that was there. It didn't really come together until his tag team with Otis, which seemed very random, but makes sense because they're good friends outside of the ring. And that chemistry worked wonders. He got the shoosh, he got the thank you over. Again, more interaction with the crowd. With him, I feel as though there's more to go. He hasn't really developed as much as these other guys. The push has been pretty recent, and there is still time with him. With the rise of this new era, there's really one guy who's been heavily debated, and that's Austin Theory. For over a year now, he's been in the ring with the biggest stars on the biggest stages. Stone Cold, John Cena, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, Edge, you name it. Some of the people he's beaten: Kevin Owens, Jeff Hardy, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio. The list goes on and on. There's a huge problem with Theory, and it might need its own separate video, and that's his booking. Look at all the stuff I just named. Does it really feel like he's done all that?
Right.
Probably not. I always go back and look at Randy Orton, where he was taking out all these guys, and it actually felt like he was doing that, and there was some spark in the performance. He beats a guy, and it feels like, oh, that happened, instead of being parlayed into bigger things. Theory's got a fantastic look. He's really sound in the ring, and he's been holding himself a lot better on the mic recently. He just needs that reset. He just needs that one thing to get him over the hump, because he feels directionless at times. It's like telling people, look, this guy is going to be huge moving forward, but you present him as, yeah, don't worry, he's going to be huge moving forward, but we're just going to kind of wait, and he's done all this stuff, but we're going to make it feel like he hasn't done all this stuff. Not a lack of skill, just a lack of creative. Now with him, there's also Grayson Waller, who feels like he's closer to what Theory should be, if that makes any sense. Anyone who's watched NXT knows Waller's gotten nerfed on the main roster. He can be a bigger sleazeball. He can make you absolutely hate his guts. Again, another guy who's just natural at being a pest. The WWE with him has given him tons of big segments with his Grayson Waller Effect talk show. Triple H loves his NXT guys, and since August of 2020, the NXT to WWE transition has been so much smoother.
Yeah,
the
and
days
better.
of jarring changes to superstars really seem like they are gone. A project that I've really warmed up to is Bronson Reed. He's another guy that, again, we'll have to wait and see because it feels like a stop-start push with him.
It
I
does.
should also add that Logan Paul is very much in this pool of talent. Someone who has
He kinda,
delivered
like I said,
in every
I don't like
performance,
him, but
risen to
he's
every
done
opportunity, and
great
simply just
things.
taken to wrestling very, very easily. He's put in the work, but he's made it look so simple. He's not a full-time performer. He's someone who always brings it, and honestly, the
that
sky
spot
is
right
the
there.
limit.
Woo!
He can talk. He can
That
wrestle,
spot, man.
He knows how to promote. He's got all the boxes ticked in what you'd want from someone who's not only going to have longevity, but be an attraction wrestler for most of his career. A lot of names that are slowly building their way up on the men's side. On the women's side, the division really is ran by two women, and that's Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Both of them have been on that John Cena and Batista trajectory.
Sure.
Let's go back to 2021 where Bianca won the Royal Rumble. The final two was her and Rhea, just like these two. When they both went into WrestleMania, they were able to beat veteran stars for their first world championships.
Yup.
Just like these two. Aside from a few stare downs here and there, they've kept the two completely apart for the most part, and it seems like they know what they're doing with the two, setting them on mirroring paths, only for them to eventually clash and it be marketed as the new faces of the women's era clashing.
Indeed.
These two are the cornerstones of the women's division. Bianca, as the ultimate hero with feats of strength, checks all the boxes for the WWE, the ideal spokesperson for the women's division. They fast-tracked her, and it really worked. Rhea made her true main roster debut in March of 2021 and then went on to win the Women's Championship less than a month later at WrestleMania, beating Asuka. She's faced the biggest stars in the women's division and has been a constant on Monday Night Raw. And let's be completely honest here, her reign post-WrestleMania has not been good. She's been
Thank you. Even my good friend V, shout out to Vatia V for the one part of our always points out because she cannot stand her. But yeah, she's like I say, she was as bad as Roman Reigns, but not as at least she shows up every week though.
The Judgment Day, but she's got everything figured out. The character work is fleshed out. She can go in the ring. Her whole persona is that she's just a badass. 27 years old, and again, sometimes because of how long it feels like these guys have been around, you forget how young a lot of these people in this new core are. The WWE recently, though, has been plugging one woman, and it's pretty damn easy to see that they have all their chips behind her, and that's Jade Cargill.
I mean, hoping they go with the face route with her first. I mean, like I say, she's natural. She did the whole thing, but Halsey made face because the crowd love her, man. Please hold on, I gotta check on the little man. Had been the little guy with me, so here you go. Say hi, bro. So anyway, we'll finish up with the little guy in it as well too. Say anyway.
I don't ever remember a time where they gave this much press to a free agent signing. Where
like I said, and the fact that they keep running, they not rushing her out either is a great thing as well too. So make sure she works with the system. So I feel she'll do good, regardless if she be a babyface heel. I feel she'll do good.
Consistent talk was about how big of a signing this is for the company. Not only that, but it's been a very, very short amount of time, and they've tried to pique your interest with her as much as possible. They've put her in segments with Triple H, put her on NXT with Shawn Michaels. She recently had a stare down with Charlotte. So you gotta believe that they hope to make an immediate impact with her. Someone on the other end that took a while to find her groove is Liv Morgan. With her, she's the cardiac kid impervious to pain. Frantic with how she does things and a loose cannon. Again, someone who before injury was really working her way up to possibly another women's title win, but her big moment came at Money in the Bank 2022.
Indeed.
She cashed in to beat Ronda Rousey, and the following title reign was genuinely terrible. And you hear me say this all the time on this channel, usually a star's first world title reign is usually an ugly duckling reign where they're still kind of trying to figure things out. Then she rebuilt, she started to find her way again, just doing all these crazy spots. That got put on hold because of injury. We'll have to see. One of the things I've also really noticed is the company is very, very high on Raquel Gonzalez.
I feel like
if she can get away from the whole I have a big back thing as her personality and actually just become a killer like Rhea Ripley, it could really work with her. She's got the Apollo Crews problem, smiley, unpolished.
Hold on a second. Hold up. I gotta pause this. I'm back, so had to help the mom-in-law and little ones with the mom-in-law. Anyway, this is my mom. But anyway, yeah, the thing about it is I understand why they going there, but the one thing I dislike about it that this could mean they might go make her hell, and I like some Raquel Rodriguez, and I don't want that to boo her or whatever. But anyway,
but just needs a change to become bigger. Ever since her debut in 2022, she's been consistently featured on WWE TV, but I think a majority of you guys would agree with me that it's just not working right now. Io Sky, Dakota Kai, those are also two names who are on the rise. Io Sky feels like they're kind of figuring it out with her, but they're also not figuring it out with her. I'm gonna finish off this video with a person who sounds really weird to say in this, but really is the top player in this new pool of talent, and that's Cody Rhodes. Right now, it's very much so Roman Reigns' era. He's the marquee act, he's the guy, he's the one who's relied upon to carry the company, but we're yet to see Cody get his crowning moment. Weird to say it with his age, yes I know, but he doesn't really fit into the Reigns-Rollins generation. He doesn't fit into that early 2010s generation either. I don't think you could consider him a star at that time. To me, with this next crop of talent, he's the one who's going to be relied upon to be the guy, to do the media, to be the merch mover.
And the thing about that as well, too, you pretty much, he's like, he's the older guy. That's a good thing, actually. You got somebody experienced in a way, experienced from the Ruthless Aggression era, somewhat from a little bit from the Ruthless Aggression, the PG era as well too, to carry the torch. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody who will, because good amount of guys that was like the leaders of the Attitude era got they start during the new generation era, is a little bit of the superstar era. I mean, like some Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Mick Foley, and Triple H, and then some of the Ruthless Wrestling era leaders got they start in got they start at the Ruthless Aggression, like John Cena and Batista. But you had guys who had a run in the Attitude era, became bigger star in the Ruthless Aggression era, such as Edge, Kane, Matt and Jeff Hardy, well, two mainly Jeff Hardy. So yeah, so Cody's is kind of in the midst of like somebody who was had a run in the eras before him, and can be the leader of the new era of the current era, and Cody's falls to that in a way as well too. So this is actually a good thing. And I mean, not only a leader, he's a leader with experience, not a leader that's given to him because of his star power. He's a leader with experience. So that's why this is good. This is also a good thing about it to think about as well too.
He's proven through his work ethic that he can do it. Yes, I know it sounds weird to say, but he's the babyface, role model, face of the company that's been missing since John Cena.
Yes.
And let's be honest, this new wave of talent really started to develop after Cody returned in 2022. That's where everything started to get going. And I guess you can't really script these things. What's even crazier is there's still a cupboard full of prospects yet to come in and take over the WWE.
Like Braun.
Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, Tiffany Stratton, the Creeds, the list goes on and on. And what's nice to see is at this point,
and Creeds is doing good, or actually doing pretty good for their main roster overall too. I mean, it's a slow start, but that's a good way not to rush them in so soon. So yes,
these guys haven't moved over to the main roster, but they're still being showcased. Like, hey, look, these are the guys you need to keep your eyes on. These are the people of the future. Breaker, Hayes, and Dragon Lee have already been on main roster shows. Becky Lynch has been working with Tiffany Stratton. The whole thing feels like it's one coherent structure between the two brands. NXT right now actually seems like a proper farm system for the WWE. There's stars who are getting endorsed right there, and you can see it. You can see that they have a long-term plan for them. Look, I'll be honest, I ragged on the WWE so much that these guys could never put together a competent and exciting roster to save their life. But it seems like it's slowly coming back together. Every time you go online, all you see is the 2008 WWE roster was stacked, but maybe real soon there's another upswing coming, where the stars of days gone by meet the stars of today, meet the stars of the future. It seems like the roster is growing And now there are multiple different acts to keep an eye on. Not just one or two acts, but multiple people going in different directions here to tell different stories, win world championships, and make waves. Let me know who you guys think are the biggest stars who are emerging in the WWE. If I forgot someone, let me know. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yeah, this was good, and like I said, despite anybody's alignment at the moment, the guys he picks are pretty is who. Whether you like them, don't like them, cheer or boo them though. There are some guys. These are the guys who definitely be a good replace for guys like these. I mean, you know how right now they talking about how rap don't have their big three anymore right now. Now they still rely on the previous big three like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and Drake and J. Cole as well too. For a while, they was relying on Brock, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, and somewhat. The return of Edge, retirement in a way was they kind of relied on that as well too. And it took them a while. They finally got the initiatives right now. They doing it with the trying to keep Roman Reigns finally and Seth Rollins in the way, but now they got a lot of new guys that can definitely carry over. And don't have to rely on just them two either anymore as well either. I mean, you got Cody, Jay, LA Knight, who else he said? Dominic, whatever, Solo, Gunther, as well as for the ladies, Bianca and Rhea, and possibly the next crop of ladies could take over as well too. And you have to we're slowly for a while they're slowly breaking away from the four horsemen, relying on the four horsewomen as well too. So you got something to think about as well too. So yeah, because you got Io, Bianca Belair, Rhea. You have Liv, and you got a future with Jade Cargill. You got NXT girls like Roxanne Perez, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyrie's doing good. So yeah, they got a lot of people you don't have to rely on too much about anymore. So yeah, other than that, that's my what's name going off. My Monopoly Go going off. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. Do you agree with Super Kick Studio? On the new wave, if you agree with my insert as well too, like, share, comment down below as well too. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.